Story 1. The Haunting at Blackwood Manor. My name is Samuel, and I never believed in ghosts or the supernatural until that fateful summer at Blackwood Manor. It was an old Victorian mansion, shrouded in mystery and nestled deep within a dense forest. My curiosity got the better of me when I heard rumors of strange occurrences at the manor. Eager to debunk the tales, I decided to spend a week there, completely alone. Upon my arrival, the grandeur of the mansion's architecture was awe-inspiring, but an unsettling feeling settled in my gut. I brushed it off as mere nerves and set about exploring my temporary abode. However, as the sun dipped below the horizon, I couldn't shake the sensation that I was being watched. As the days passed, the unsettling feeling intensified. Strange sounds echoed throughout the halls at night, and doors creaked open on their own. I attributed these phenomena to the old house settling, but I couldn't ignore the feeling that something wasn't right. I chalked it up to my mind playing tricks on me. One night, while I was reading in the library, a cold breeze swept through the room even though all the windows were closed. A distinct whisper seemed to echo through the shelves, and books toppled to the floor. Fear gripped me, but I dismissed it as a freak occurrence. My attempts to stay rational were in vain, for the haunting escalated. Shadows danced in the corners of my vision, and my sleep was plagued by vivid nightmares. Visions of ghastly figures and eerie apparitions haunted my dreams, making me dread each nightfall. One evening, while wandering through the mansion's extensive garden, I noticed a peculiar gravestone hidden among the overgrown bushes. It bore the name of Emily Blackwood, and the dates inscribed on the stone revealed she had died under mysterious circumstances decades ago. The locals had whispered about her tragic fate, but never dared to speak openly. Driven by my desire to uncover the truth, I delved into the history of Blackwood Manor. My research revealed a sinister tale. Emily Blackwood had been a recluse, rumored to dabble in dark art. It was believed that her obsession with the occult had summoned malevolent forces into the house. As my knowledge of the mansion's dark history grew, so did the paranormal activity. Apparitions became more tangible, and the boundaries between the living and the dead blurred. I often heard Emily's forlorn cries echoing through the halls and felt her ghostly presence watching my every move. One night, as I was lying in bed, a chilling voice whispered in my ear, calling my name. The feeling of icy breath against my skin sent shivers down my spine. "Leave this place," the voice echoed, dripping with sorrow and anger. I tried to dismiss it as a dream, but the scratches on my arm the next morning were a stark reminder of the night's events. As fear consumed me, I sought help from paranormal experts, but their attempts to cleanse the house proved futile. It was as if the malevolence had become ingrained in the very essence of Blackwood Manor. With each passing day, I felt my sanity slipping away, and the line between reality and nightmares blurred. I became obsessed with understanding the curse that plagued the mansion. Latte into the nights, I scoured dusty tomes and consulted psychics, desperate to find a way to end the torment. The house seemed to taunt me, revealing only fragments of the truth and driving me further into madness. One stormy night, as the rain lashed against the mansion's windows, I stumbled upon a hidden chamber. It was a secret room Emily had used for her sinister rituals. The walls were adorned with macabre symbols. And the air felt heavy with malevolence. It was there that I found Emily's journal, which detailed her descent into darkness. Reading her words was like inviting the malevolence into my soul. The veil between the living and the dead was torn asunder, and I found myself face to face with Emily's tormented spirit. Her hollow eyes bore into my soul, and her anguished wails filled the room. I knew then that I had to free her spirit from the cursed mansion. With trembling hands, I performed a ritual to cleanse the house and release Emily's spirit. It was a perilous endeavor, fraught with danger and uncertainty. The walls seemed to close in on me as I chanted ancient incantations, and the spirits of the past clawed at my very being. But my determination prevailed, and as the final words left my lips, a blinding light filled the chamber. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, and a sense of peace washed over me. Emily's spirit was finally free. In the aftermath of that harrowing experience, I fled Blackwood Manor, leaving behind the darkness that had threatened to consume me. The mansion stood silent and still, as if it had absorbed all the malevolence that had resided within its walls for so long. Since that summer, I've never set foot in Blackwood Manor, and I've tried my best to forget the horrors I witnessed. Yet a part of me still wonders if the malevolence lingers, waiting for another unsuspecting soul to fall into its clutches. And I can't help but feel a pang of sorrow for Emily Blackwood, a tormented soul forever trapped between this world and the next. Story 2. The Abandoned Asylum. My name is Emma, and I have always been fascinated by the eerie and mysterious. So when I heard about the abandoned asylum on the outskirts of town, my curiosity got the better of me. The stories surrounding the old building were chilling. Tales of patients locked away, experiments gone wrong, and ghostly apparitions haunting the halls. I couldn't resist the allure of exploring the forsaken asylum for myself. One gloomy Saturday afternoon, armed with a flashlight and my bravado, I ventured into the decaying structure. The moment I crossed the threshold, a wave of musty air enveloped me, carrying the weight of decades past. My heart pounded as I tiptoed through the dimly lit corridors, wary of every creak and groan. The graffiti-covered walls told stories of rebellious teenagers seeking thrills, but there was something more ominous lurking beneath the surface. As I descended into the depths of the asylum, I felt an inexplicable sense of being watched. I dismissed it as mere paranoia, attributing the feeling to the building's unsettling reputation. My journey led me to the basement, a place rumored to be the site of cruel experiments conducted on the patients. The room was pitch black, and the air was heavy with an oppressive silence. A rusted metal door beckoned me, and against my better judgment, I pushed it open. Inside, I found a series of cramped, labyrinthine corridors. The walls were stained with unspeakable horrors, and a lingering scent of decay clung to the air. The deeper I ventured, the stronger the feeling of being watched intensified. My flashlight flickered, casting eerie shadows that danced along the walls like malevolent specters. A distant sound echoed through the darkness like footsteps echoing in the void. Panic threatened to consume me, but my curiosity pushed me forward. I reasoned that it must be some trick of the mind, the result of an overactive imagination fed by the asylum's sinister history. As I reached a particularly narrow passage, I became aware of an unsettling presence at my side. I turned to find a pale figure standing in the shadows, its eyes glinting with an otherworldly light. My heart raced and my voice caught in my throat as I stumbled backward. "Who's there?" I called out, my voice trembling. No response came, only the chilling silence of the asylum. I forced myself to believe it was a figment of my imagination, a manifestation of my fear. But as I continued deeper into the maze, the figure seemed to follow, always lurking in the periphery of my vision. In a state of growing terror, I found myself back in the main hallway, the one that led to the asylum's grand entrance. But as I tried to escape, the door refused to budge, trapping me inside. Panic set in, and I pounded on the door with all my might, desperate to break free. Just as I thought I was doomed to remain trapped in that haunted place forever, the door finally creaked open, releasing me from its clutches. I stumbled out into the fading daylight, gasping for breath and covered in a cold sweat. The asylum loomed behind me, a sinister silhouette against the darkening sky. In the days that followed, I couldn't shake the feeling that something had followed me out of the asylum, that the pale figure had somehow escaped its confines. Sleep eluded me, plagued by haunting nightmares and the eerie sensation of being watched. In a desperate attempt to find answers, I delved into the history of the asylum. The stories of mistreatment and the suffering of the patients left me haunted. It was said that the asylum's closure came after an incident where a patient had gone missing, and rumors suggested they had never been found. As I delved deeper, I stumbled upon an old newspaper article dated decades ago. It revealed the story of a patient named Emily, a young girl who had disappeared from her room one stormy night. Her body was never found, and her fate remained a mystery. The article included a faded photograph, and as I stared at the image, my blood turned to ice. It was the same pale figure that had haunted me in the asylum, the one with the glinting eyes. The realization struck me like a bolt of lightning. The apparition that had followed me was the lost soul of Emily. Haunted by the knowledge, I couldn't escape the feeling that Emily's spirit had latched onto me, seeking solace or perhaps retribution. I tried to appease her restless soul, visiting her long, forgotten grave and leaving flowers as a token of respect. Days turned into weeks, and the nightmares persisted. Emily's presence remained a constant, a silent companion looking just beyond the realm of the living. I came to accept her presence, understanding that she sought closure just as much as I did. In the end, the abandoned asylum became more than just a thrilling exploration. It became a place of reckoning and reflection. I had peered into the abyss of history and had been forever changed by the encounter with the lost soul of Emily. To this day, I can't forget the haunting experience, a tale I share with a shiver each time someone mentions the forsaken asylum. Story 3. The Whispering Woods. I never believed in the supernatural until that chilling winter when I stumbled upon the Whispering Woods, a place that would forever haunt my nightmares. My name is Alex, and I'm an avid hiker. The allure of untamed wilderness always called to me, and during one of my solo expeditions, I decided to explore a remote forest rumored to be cursed. The Whispering Woods, as the locals called it, lay far beyond the beaten path, concealed by ancient trees and a veil of mystery. With my backpack strapped on and a map in hand, I ventured deep into the heart of the forest. The tall trees swayed gently in the wind, their branches entwined like skeletal fingers reaching for the sky. As I delved deeper, a sense of unease gnawed at me, but I pushed the feeling aside, attributing it to the ominous atmosphere. The sky darkened with the approach of night, but I pressed on, eager to find a suitable camping spot. The forest floor was strewn with fallen leaves, and the crunch of my footsteps was the only sound that dared break the silence. However, as I walked deeper into the woods, I noticed something peculiar, a faint whispering sound that seemed to emanate from the very trees themselves. I paused, straining my ears to make sense of the whispers. It was as if the forest held secrets it yearned to share. Fear clawed at my throat, but curiosity propelled me onward. Guided by the haunting whispers, I ventured further into the heart of the Whispering Woods. As the night grew darker, the forest seemed to come alive with eerie luminosity. Ethereal glows flickered between the tree trunks, and spectral shadows danced along the periphery of my vision. The forest floor appeared to breathe, as if it were alive with some ancient presence. Overwhelmed with trepidation, I finally decided to set up camp, hoping the morning light would dispel the eerie ambiance. Yet even within the confines of my tent, the haunting whispers persisted, reverberating through the very fabric of the forest. Sleep was impossible. Each time I closed my eyes, haunting images of spectral apparitions flooded my mind. The first light of dawn brought little relief. The forest remained shrouded in a surreal haze, and the whispers intensified, as if beckoning me deeper into the heart of the woods. Fueled by a mixture of dread and fascination, I couldn't resist the pull. Hours turned into days, and I lost all sense of time within the confines of the Whispering Woods. My supplies dwindled, but I was unable to find my way back. The forest seemed to twist and turn, its path ever changing, as if deliberately ensnaring me. One evening, as I rested beneath the skeletal canopy, a ghostly figure emerged from the darkness. It was a young woman, her ethereal beauty juxtaposed by an air of sorrow. Her eyes bore into mine, and though she uttered no words, I understood her message. A warning to leave before it was too late. But it was too late. I had become ensnared within the grasp of the Whispering Woods. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, as if demanding something from me. The forest seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy, and I feared that I had stumbled upon something beyond my comprehension. Fueled by desperation, I attempted to escape, but the woods seemed to stretch endlessly, leading me in circles. Panic set in, and I succumbed to madness, unsure if I was trapped in a waking nightmare or a realm beyond reality. In my desperate state, I unearthed an ancient tale from the depths of my memory. A legend of a cursed forest where restless spirits sought to claim the souls of wandering travelers. It was said that those who ventured too deep would be lost forever, their spirits merging with the haunted woods. Haunted by the possibility of sharing such a fate, I fought against the malevolent forces. I screamed into the darkness, defying the haunting whispers that sought to draw me deeper. With each step, the whispers grew more furious, and I felt a suffocating presence surrounding me, trying to pull me into its embrace. In one final act of defiance, I turned and ran, fueled by a primal instinct to survive. With each stride, the whispers receded and the forest seemed to relent. The trees retreated, revealing a faint glimmer of sunlight in the distance. It was my way out. Exhausted and trembling, I burst through the tree line and stumbled into open terrain. The whispering woods had released its grip on me, but I knew that I would carry its haunting memories with me forever. To this day, I remain haunted by the experience, unsure if I escaped the curse or if a part of me remains trapped within the whispering woods. I caution all who hear my tale. Beware the allure of the unknown, for some mysteries are better left untouched. The whispering woods will forever remain an enigma, a place of haunting beauty and unfathomable terror, waiting to ensnare those who dare to tread too deep into its heart.